Welcome back to Income Trading 101. Today we're going to take a look at Palantir Tech, which actually IPO'd back in October of 2020. So, sometimes you guys might wonder how you can look at some of these different stock from a technical analysis perspective that they just don't have as much data. And we're going to do that today just by playing with time a little bit, as I always do. So let's go ahead and get started, dive into this one. We're going to start off with our moving averages. And the usual, for those of you who come to this channel often, you know the story. We're going to do a 10-day, a 20, and not a 900. That was a little bit much, but looks like I have a little typo. Let's see. I'm going to add one more moving average in. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. 10. We'll turn it green. Use it as a buy signal. We'll get our 20-day. Turn it red. Can use it as a sort of near-term sell signal. And then I want a 60-day that we can use. Perfect. We can use just to get a better sense of where the longer term, the quarterly trend is going. And you can see, I mean, the 60-day, the stock has barely been trading long enough to have a 60-day. And from this perspective, right off the bat, with the 10, the 20, and the 60, I would put this stock from a moving average perspective, at least in what I would call the confusion mode. All three, I like trading when all three averages are in line. So if you see back here, for most of February, you saw the 10-day higher than the 20, which was higher than the 60-day. Now, ironically, this has been, February saw a big drop in price, and then it popped back up, came on off again. So I'm sure there's a nice moving, a downward trending channel there for us to take a look at. But before we move into anything else, let's go ahead and take a look at some different time frames. Let's get a better sense of this. So at the 4-hour, you actually have all three moving averages in line. You've got the 60 above, the 20 above the 10, which is an indication of a downward trend. But I'm not convinced just yet. And I know this stock is one of the favorites of some of the shorter term traders. Yeah, clearly this has been in a downtrend for the last few days. So if you're going to hold a stock for a while, then the daily charts are definitely your friend. If you're not, don't ever feel like you have to stick with daily data. I like moving into shorter time frames that might better or more closely represent my actual trading style. So you see a downward trend. It's been a downward trend in the 1-hour charts, and we still appear to be there. Although right now the 10-day average, this would actually be a 10-hour, but the 10-period average is touching price. And I'm always cautious when that happens. I'd rather see it above price or below price. When it's touching price, to me, that again gets into a scenario where one or two big up or big down days can really change the slope of that moving average. And you'll look back at the data and wonder, man, why did I do that trade? What is it that I saw? And it'll be hard to figure out. And that's also another reason why I like to actually calculate my own moving averages. It's oftentimes you can get daily data, and maybe I'll make a video to show you this, but you can download daily data from a number of sources. It's harder to get into the smaller time frames, but even if you're just working with the daily data, that can be a great place to start for your analysis. And here at the 15-minute level, you do see, even though the 60, the 20, and the 10 are all in line, price has gone through it has gone through both the 10 and the 20. It's touching the 60 period, line. So I think the moving averages are basically saying, hey, why don't you wait on this one, give it a day or two, see what's going to happen before you decide to allocate new money to it at least. If you're already in the trade, you're in the trade. But if you haven't gotten in, and that's sort of the perspective that I make when I look at these companies on here, or crypto for that matter, I go with the assumption that you're looking at initiating a position, and I definitely want to initiate when a trend is in process or progress, either way. Let's go ahead and move to the MACD and get a sense of if that is going to be more or less conclusive than the moving averages. So at the daily level, you can see we had a cross of the signal and the MACD line back on February 11th, and sure enough, price fell, or really I should say price fell, and that gave us the indication. I also like that right now the MACD line has gone into the negative territory. It's gone below the zero line. This might actually tee up for a buy signal. So let's see. This is at the daily level. Let's see what the 1 hour looks like, because I would imagine, yep, in the 1 hour we're already in the oversold territory. You can see this little crossover here. We haven't had a move. My goal here is to see a crossover and a strong trend back above the zero line. So if I see that crossover and I see this MACD, the MACD line is this blue line, if it crosses that zero line, I'll be looking to purchase this stock. That to me is enough confirmation, because again, it can go up and look like it's going to cross, and then a couple of down bars drops below again. So I just want to be as certain. You never get the chance to be fully certain when it comes to trading, but certainly more information sometimes is better than less, unless it leads you to not take action. So you can see at this 30-minute level, I would have gotten chopped up here just by my own rules, because we would have had a cross. And once it crossed the zero line, really that little uptrend was done. And this sort of just tailed back off, flattened out, and then came back below the zero line during this sideways channel in the price data. And right now it's sort of, both lines are touching. If we get an up move today, this will cross the MACD line will cross the zero line, and will likely look like this is a buy. Now let's look at the 15-minute before we go forward. And same, I mean, it really isn't giving us as much. It's funny how this side, actually, yeah, it's the same. It's you've got the cross here back on recently, actually on the 19th of February. That was last Friday, and we came on off. I'm willing to bet that prior to this this lower move, this gap down, that this MACD and signal line were a lot flatter, and then you had that information and it just dropped. So I, again, look at anything tied to a moving average as a lagging indicator, not a leading. So the MACD is the moving average convergence divergence. So it is still a variation on moving averages and how we perceive them. And if you don't understand it, definitely go and watch I created a video that was shared as a live stream, and it's how to trade stock with technical analysis. I walked through the MACD in a little bit better detail, so you can take a look at that video and get a little bit of a tutorial. So all in, I'm saying the MACD is inconclusive as well. I'm not seeing strong technical indicators to go ahead and hop into this stock for the first time. Now, and let's do a quick Fibonacci analysis too. This pullback is just interesting enough. Let's go from let's take it from the low in this stock, take it all the way to the top there, and just swing it over like so. All right. So right now, we've already reached the 50% retracement. We actually went a little lower, the 50% retracement of that first upward trend that this stock had from inception in October all the way to the top that we saw in January 27th of this year, 2021. So we've pulled back since then. That pullback, we saw a little bit of, look at this at the 38.2% retracement, how consistent that was. That level was near the close of November 27th, the high of December the 8th, and then it appeared to sort of offer a little bit of support February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th before prices went higher and just crashed through it. Now it may very well play a little bit of resistance. And with this stock sitting, sure, pre-market, and I'm making this video in the morning, pre-market's 25.73, indicating that it might go lower. It's certainly looking like it's going lower today to start off, but those pre-markets can do its own thing. That's another video for another day. I see it hanging around this 50% level, $26.94. I would wait if you're looking to initiate a position here, because one strong down move and this stock is going to look like it's heading lower. One strong up move, and I'm telling you, people are going to be on the bandwagon buying it. And I don't look at. I've mentioned several times. I'm not really big into using some of the volume indicators. But one of the things that you can use volume for is actually seeing if the volume is more to the upside or to the downside of a stock. So what I mean is, so this day, September 30th would have been the IPO day. So that's less relevant. But here you saw increasing volume as the stock was going higher, right? I want to see increasing volume when a stock is going higher. We saw that back in January as well. We even saw an increase in volume on the 18th and the 19th of February, which was just these 2 green days here. So, and that was also shortly after their earnings. It was 2 days after their earnings, 2 and 3 days. But what I'm basically saying is that if the largest volume, if you're seeing the largest volume only on the up days, that means there's a lot of buyer sentiment behind the stock. And if we get one up move, one uptick day, or maybe 2 in a row, you might see this stock push quite a bit higher. And so those sort of technical levels, like that 38.2%, which would be the next one after we pass the after we're higher than the 50%, that was around this sort of $30.75 level. It was right around there. So you want to be aware of those technical levels, just because other people are watching. And I also, just to show the bearish the bearish move, let's do one of the things I love, which is just a trending channel, because those can be really valuable sometimes. So I'm just going to connect those 3 points there, and that is a trending channel, right? So again, I'm sort of lukewarm right now. I'm neither hot nor cold on this. This channel could continue, right? We could have another downward day. We could even have an up move that is within the channel. Maybe, let's see, maybe I can tighten this channel up a little bit and just shrink it down there and make the comment that, hey, if this stock were to pop up and start to reach for $30, maybe it's going to go on higher because it starts to exit this downward trending channel. But, you know, again, I've already shrunk the channel to fit my data. You have to be careful of overfitting your technical analysis to the data, because then, you know, you start to see things that aren't actually there, and it influences your data. So overfitting is always bad. That's more of a concept from statistical analysis, but because you can overfit a model, but it still applies here to technical analysis. So rather than completely geek out on that and drive you guys away, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. So thank you very much for watching. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe to the channel, share it with friends of yours, and feel free to leave a comment. All right? Have a great trading day, and as usual, happy trading.